Y2G, Chris Jericho will never, ever return to the WWE. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling, and we have some bad news today in the world of wrestling for WWE fans, for Chris Jericho fans. Chris Jericho has come out and he has said he has, quote, zero interest in making a return to the WWE. Now, I totally get he's currently employed by AEW. He's not going to come out and badmouth AEW, and he's not going to beg for a return to WWE, but he did come out. He said he doesn't care if he never returns to WWE, and that to me is worrying, because this guy is getting old, man. He's not as good as he used to be. I think we all hope that Jericho would go to AEW, do his thing, put the company on the map, and then come back to the WWE and have like one last final run, you know, before he is like Ric Flair old, before he's too old, before he's like ancient and done and beaten up and unable to go to a good standard. However, it doesn't look like we're going to see a return to WWE for Jericho anytime soon. He was doing an interview with the Daily Star, and this is what Chris Jericho had to say, and I quote, "I don't hold a torch for WWE. To me, that's not the place to be. AEW is the place to be. It really is. I've been in WWE, I know how it works. They work that way. I don't care if Vince is there, Hunter is there, or whoever is there. They have a way of doing things, and I was there for 20 years and was pretty good at it. I like the way we do things at AEW better, so I don't know why I wouldn't want to finish my career in AEW. Business is business, and there's always ups and downs, but I have zero interest in ever going back to WWE. That's not out of bitterness or anger. I love Vince, I love Hunter, and I love all the people there." End of quote. So, I think the big takeaway for that, guys, is the fact that he says he has zero interest in ever going back to WWE, and secondly, he said he likes the way they do things at AEW better. He says that he was good at the way they do things at WWE, but he likes the way they do things at AEW better. What the hell do they do at AEW better? Chris Jericho, this is the same guy that said over 2 years ago that Dynamite was going to start beating Raw in the ratings. He said within the next, like 4 to 6 months, we're going to see AEW Dynamite beating Raw in the ratings. 2 years later, and they're not even close. You know, Raw has pretty much maintained the rating they were doing, in AEW, the ratings are worse. Let's be honest. They'll still have an odd week where they do 1 million, but when they started, you felt like AEW was around the 1 million mark. You felt like 1.1, 1.2. That's what you expect at a Dynamite to do. In my opinion, nowadays, you expect the average Dynamite to do around 850,000, 900,000. And maybe they'll have, you know, a week where they promote the show, or they got the return of somebody big, or they do something. Tony Khan talks up an irrelevant surprise that is supposed to be groundbreaking, and then it turns out to be something garbage. But sometimes he'll do that, and he'll manage to get that number over the 1 million, but in terms of beating Raw, no, not even close. They haven't even reduced the gap to Raw. They haven't even got closer to Raw, never mind beat Raw. If anything, you know, they've got worse. So, Jericho, I don't see why you would like things better at AEW. AEW is certainly not better, and it's sad, because Chris Jericho, you know, whether we like it or not, the guy is coming to the end of his career. We can argue, there's no doubt about it. Never mind argue. Chris Jericho is 100% past his prime. We've seen the best of Jericho. He is on the decline, and on the decline rapidly, let's be honest. Every month that goes by, every year that goes by, Chris Jericho is losing his ability. Chris Jericho is declining as a performer. So, you know, it is sad that we kind of hoped that he'd come back to WWE, he'd maybe have one last final run, but the way things are going at the moment, it doesn't look like he's any interest. I think his contract is all the way through to 2024, so, I mean, if he sees that out, you've got another 2 years of Jericho in AEW. The way he's talking, he probably wants to extend his contract. I believe by then he'll probably be down to like a part-time kind of guy. And yeah, you know, he'll be at the age now where even if he does return to WWE, it's going to be like, you know, who cares? Chris Jericho can't really go anymore. So yeah, really sad in my opinion. I think we all wanted one last Jericho run. I think he certainly deserved a good run in WWE, and it doesn't look like we're going to get it anytime soon. Chris Jericho says that he prefers being at AEW, and he wants to finish his career with AEW. And I get it, you know, it could all be smoke and mirrors. He could just be saying that to please Tony Khan, but, you know, what I've noticed about Jericho over the years is, like, he kind of does... I know people will accuse him of being an ass kisser, but I do think he does, to a certain degree, speak his mind. I think if he wanted to return to WWE, he would be a bit more honest about it. I think he would say he's open to return in the future, because he did say that in the past. You know, in the past, when he's been at AEW, he's always spoke about how, you know, one day he might end up in WWE again. He'll probably return to WWE, but now Chris Jericho doesn't appear to be saying that. He's saying that he likes it in AEW, he wants to finish his career in AEW, and he has zero interest in ever returning to WWE. So not good, in my opinion, for Jericho and WWE fans. I don't think Jericho will be remembered for what he does in AEW. Let's be honest, is Jericho going to do anything in the remainder of his career in AEW that's going to be groundbreaking, that you're going to remember in 20 years' time? No. You think it's all Jericho's good moments, and it's going to be all his work before AEW. Anyway, guys, that's my opinion. Let us know what you think down below. Chris Jericho, do you want to see him return to WWE, or do you not care anymore? Is Chris Jericho past it? Is Chris Jericho better off just retiring and, I don't know, maybe going on tour with his crappy band? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. I'll catch you guys in the next one. And of course, until then, been Fog Wrestling. Thanks for watching, and peace.